right, this is the December 16th meeting of the Finance Committee, 2025. We have myself, Mike Warner, we have Chuck Colby, we have Kathleen Martina, we have Al, we have Mike Flanagan, we have Ann, we have Kevin that in the room right now. So we have a quorum. Tonight we've got fleet departments to come in. We have facilities management, and then after our break we have the recreation department and the council on aging. So that's kind of where we're at. We do have Elizabeth is printing for us yet. We will have some minutes to go over this evening. We have 3 weeks of minutes. Should we send one through email today, I think it was, or last night, one or the other. But if you will wait for her to come in, we'll go through those 3. They're pretty straightforward. Last night, thank you everybody that could make it. I know not everybody can, but we did meet in a joint meeting with the select board, where they went through what the projected revenue will be for next year, as well as some of the projected costs that they see. You already have the documentation that they sent out, the slides and everything else. My big takeaways on it were there's not a lot of money that'll be left over for next year once they're, and it's not their fault, just the way it works, right? We have some pretty heavy outstanding liabilities. We have some bills for school, the old high school, police department building. So those are still hitting us on a regular basis. You've got the retirement funds, the pension funds are brutal. So once you take those things out, I think it was around $600,000 is what we'll have more than we had this year. So that's kind of a drop in the ocean at this point. So talked a little bit about where they've gone with that. And they're looking for us to actually discuss some things. So we'll kind of maybe drop that in, but they are particularly concerned about the model that's being used to determine how much the school budget we can afford in the school budget, and work with the school committee, because it's their job to set that up, but try and come up with a way that we can predict it. And they had 4 models that they talked about. All of them look at kind of a more practical perspective than just a number off the cuff, because right now that's really what it is. It's 5%. Well, that depends, right? We may or may not have 5%. So these models, Kathleen has those. So what we'll do is we'll share them, and maybe over the break is probably the best way when we come back in January.
It won't be tonight.
No. But I'm thinking we'll share them over the next couple of weeks. You have a chance to kind of look at them, consume it a little bit, and say, all right, so these are the proposed models. Nothing says that we can't come in and say, well, this is a decent model, but mix this with this. All right. I mean, they're trying to find a model that is more equitable and more sustainable, and I applaud that. That's a good thing to do.
I'd like to know what other towns do. Other towns handle that.
Yeah, well,
I just find other towns with regional school districts, right?
Yeah, true.
So,
yeah.
Bridgewater Raynham is one to
Yes.
keep an eye on.
Silver
They're in
Lake,
trouble
Silver Lake, and why did Pembroke pull out of that?
because they wanted their kids to have, I taught there for 4 years, to have access at the leadership positions. They were the biggest town sending the kids, and their kid wasn't the president of the senior class or captain of the football team, so, or other similar reasons. So
Wow.
it cost them a ton of money,
Oh, yeah.
and I taught in a building that needs an awful lot of work, but that's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever, right? And
Yeah.
you make up your mind about it, but there are some costs that are involved in it. We also have the other challenge, which is we're in a different state of relationship with the state and the funds they hold harmless. Mm-hmm. Basically means we do not get the full compensation from the state, and that's There's a couple of things that come into play with that. The biggest one, realistically, is attendance. And what they're looking for is attendance to go up. And our attendance is, every year, goes down.
There's a ton of schools in the state that are in hold harmless. I think I read two.
Two-thirds.
Yeah, two-thirds. I think.
Two-thirds.
Two-thirds to three-fourths.
It's unrealistic
Insane.
today.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it'll get worse. Talking to some of my old classmates at Northeastern, we were discussing it, and the challenge is kind of twofold. It's really bad this year because the colleges, as most of you have noticed, are seeing a huge drop in application to go to college. Some of that was already happening. The cost of college is incredibly expensive, and a lot of jobs have basically dropped the college requirement now. So why go to college? Why don't you just, boom, go right in?
Giving scholarships for D3 schools now.
Well, you get scholarships from a lot of places, but those are for the tuition. That's the smallest cost going to school.
Well, the tuition's pretty high, and they dropped it half for to play sport, and they're good at it, so it's kind of like, it's still expensive.
Yeah, it is. But a lot of them are opting. We're seeing it here. They're opting for trade schools, vocational schools, that sort of thing, because it immediately moves them in, and then right from high school they can get a job.
Right.
Go to college, you got 4 years, and then they're going to try and get you to stay another couple to get your master's, and now you basically, the price of a house is what you owe for school, and you still haven't got a job, right? So these pressures are on them right now, but the old hold harmless methodology was based upon everybody goes to college, so that means you stay in high school. So with the model flipped, hold harmless doesn't make any sense anymore. Not the way they've written it.
Is some of the attendance too being lost to charter schools?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, when that went into effect, that basically started siphoning.
And the state increased the seats available in charter schools, which they said they wouldn't. So that impacted Whitman. It definitely impacted Whitman-Hanson this year, where they thought that wasn't going to happen, and someone decided, nope.
So we're seeing a lot. I know we've got kids because through when I was doing the Scouts, we had kids in Thayer, we had BC, we had Zvarian brothers. Pretty long distances to go to school, but they were opting for private schools. There's 4 or 5 different vocational schools
It's hard to get into those
that we're
schools.
sending people to.
Yeah.
And the killer is we have to pay those costs. So if they decide to go to a school that costs more than our high school and provide the transportation, that comes right off the top.
You're talking about the vocational schools,
Yeah.
not the private schools.
Not the
No,
private.
but vocational schools, there's a deal that's
Actually, now that you bring that up, that's actually another thing we have to watch out for this year, because it dropped this past year. I wonder if it's going to go up. Remember that? It was like $100,000.
Because Marshfield joined. And so our share was no longer 24%, it was 20. Marshfield forgot to budget $750,000 for
It
their
looks so bad after all.
But I don't know how they forgot, but they did. They are looking for a new town manager.
Really?
Yes.
Sounds
but
familiar
it
to
also
our school
dropped
district.
the number
Yeah.
of seats we
Yes,
got.
they sound there. Just got left the job. He left there. Keith, my sister's friends with him.
I wish the state would start sending some of that money on the millionairs tax they
I
promised
agree.
for instead of the MBTA to send it to the school departments or across the state.
Yeah.
That's my personal.
I agree with you. You vote for
So-
something and then what you think you're voting for doesn't happen. It's really annoying.
Yeah,
Welcome to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way.
it's hard.
I don't know. What did I miss, Kathleen? Anything that you?
From last night?
Yeah.
No, it was just, I will say that I was part of the small budget group. We didn't call it budget group, we called it working group, with Mary Beth, Sean, Justin eventually joined the group, and John Galvin came in one night. The 3 models couldn't have been further apart from each other, so it wasn't as if they were so close together we just took the average and divided by, added them and divided by 3. John Galvin was actually the most generous to the schools, and Sean's revenue model was the least generous to the schools, and Justin's was somewhere in between. There was some rationale for each of them. I'm not convinced that we want to follow any one of those models. I think it's back to the drawing board, because I was invited in when I wasn't at the top of my game to begin with, and didn't realize this was a decision. I thought it was a discussion. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What did I miss during this meeting? No votes were taken. And I think one thing that we want to talk about tonight is one of the articles that calls for holding the fire department and police department harmless in fiscal 26 with using money that was earmarked for a fire department vehicle plus money from
Overlay
ambulance.
surplus on the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yes, and then overlay surplus for the police department, and it's like we're increasing their budgets by. Back at town meeting, it was going to be $75,000 each, a total of $150,000. Last night, it added up to close to $300,000 for their fiscal 26 budget, which means that's what they'd be building off of for fiscal 27. And I'm really
Will we be asked to give a vote on that recommendation for town meeting?
yes.
Okay.
Any articles that are related to money, we weigh in on.
And that's January 12th, so
Yes, it is.
when will the fire chief be stepping in to explain, or the police chief?
They are the
Next week, right?
6th.
We don't have
Right
meetings.
at-
The next
Yeah.
meeting.
January 6th.
No, they actually moved. Fire moved out to the 20th of January.
Yeah, well, when Mary Beth, when they start discussing the short term, these warrant articles, we can ask them to come in specifically to explain the
We only have one
rationale.
more meeting before town meeting.
Yeah, the
Yes.
6th of January.
The next 2 weeks we're off. And then we have January 6th and then it's town meeting the next Monday.
And
Yes.
that's Monday.
We could ask them to come in on the 6th. We have nobody until 7:30 that night.
I think we should ask, even if it's not to talk about the budget, I think if
Oh,
just
yeah.
specifically about
No,
this.
yeah,
specifically about that.
that's typical. Yeah, typical when we have this type of stuff to hey, come on in and tell us what you're thinking and why.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I took a quick look at it today, and the numbers and where it was coming from, it was
Well, if that money's readily
high.
available, it should be readily available to the whole town.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
If
was
it's not readily available to the whole town, then it's not readily available.
I was actually asked at the, I was invited to the assessors meeting where they released the $225,000 from overlay reserve to overlay surplus, and then they asked me to come to the table and say, so what's the finance committee's position on this? Do you favor it all going to public safety? I said, we haven't talked about it. The finance committee doesn't have a position, so no. Hey, Todd, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Don. Yeah.
I know there's an awful lot of political pressure to get it done. But it's
All
the
right.
thing.
Yeah,
Lose weight? Just, working, going to the gym. Doing... That's for you.
sir.
This is the updated version of the master plan
Thank you.
with all the new equipment from the DPW. It's installed. There you go. And, yep. There you go.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
We do our usual meet and greet.
Yeah, so we've got some new folks
Yep.
this year. We have a couple folks that aren't here yet.
I can
We'll see
wait.
if they make it.
Yeah.
No. It's
Okay. Yep.
welcome to December and it's cold out.
Yeah.
So Mike Warner.
Chuck Colby.
Kathleen Otina.
I'll be quiet.
Mike Lynn.
Mike, how are you?
Anthony.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Kevin Wolf.
Nice to meet you. Can I just real quick?
Yeah.
For the just
It's all yours.
if you just turn to page 4, sorry. So basically, section 1 provides a complete inventory of all the mechanical equipment we have in each building. That's what that will show you. Section 2 will display the overview of each building's equipment replacement schedule. So in other words, when the equipment was installed, what's the lifespan, when to begin the 5-year forecast, and the year to replace. Then section 3 breaks it down into 5-year segments, so it's a working document. So anytime something's taken out, the new, like for instance, we changed the 5 panel this year. So I took that out where it was, put in the new one where it should go into that slot. And then that starts another lifespan on that and continues. And then this year I added section 4. It shows you at the end what is on preventive maintenance for the town. What are we doing to prevent anything from going on? And a good example is this year we had preventive maintenance done on the 2 boilers and the 3 air handler units at the library, and there was 2 water main breaks about 6-8 months ago. One just past the library on School, and the other one was on Harvard. Just as you take that left on the Harvard. So how long they were leaking, we don't know. But what happened was sludge got in to the boilers, and metal gets in there. And luckily, we found it. Although it cost $7,000, it could have been $40,000. We could have ruined the boilers, could have destroyed that. It did destroy the pump. It destroyed the compression tank. And then during all that, we found that the main control for air handler unit 1, which is the children's area in the library, had failed. So we caught that. I think it probably just failed within 2 days because I didn't get any complaints about cold. So we caught that. Luckily, I had, from a past capital project, I had about $9,000 in that. So for this article, for the special town meeting, I put in to transfer $7,000 out of that to pay this bill because it's not my budget. And then the rest of it will go into the general fund or the free cash, what's left. So this is a forever document. It's a forever 5-year plan. Can we do it? Probably not. Not all of it at all times. But I'm going to, as we go, and things that we don't get to replace that should be replaced that year that are critical, I'm just going to highlight it red, saying, hey, we didn't do this when we should have, but we down the road. Yeah,
Put it in the danger zone.
put it in the danger zone. Yeah. So this is actually great for me because it tells me when I need to do things. I included like the hot water heaters, from the senior center, from the library. Those are residential. That's not going to be in a 5-year capital plan, but I put it in there so I see it. So I say, oh yeah, I got to replace that hot water heater. It's getting close because we did have one go in the library on Memorial Weekend about 2 years ago. So $4,000 or $3,500 job became $6,000 because it was Memorial Weekend. The guys live there. They need hot water.
Yeah.
So, and the only other thing I just want the committee to know is the condensers, the refrigerant is changing. It's R410 right now. It's going to go to 454B. It's a whole different refrigerant. It actually has a type of propane in it. We have 3 branch boxes, 2 in the attic and 1 downstairs in the lower lobby. And each branch box controls like 7 or 8 units. So they might control this room, that room, up here, then another branch box can. Well, we may have to change out the branch boxes as well as the condensers, and we still don't know if we have to rip all the piping out and do all new piping. So this is something that's ongoing. I've been talking to a lot of distributors, a lot of vendors, and they're even unclear on what's going on and how it's going to work. So we don't know yet. It was my plan to start replacing these next year, one at a time, because they're getting towards the end of life. We've put a lot of money into HP1, and so I wanted to start changing them out because we're getting close to their end of life. But now I got to put it on hold and see what we can do. The other option was we could go out now. I got a quote, buy 3, because there's a ton of R410 refrigerant out there. There's a ton. Everyone's buying up the units that take the R410. We could go out, not that we're going to, but we could go out and buy 3 for $90,000, have it, store them, and when they start replacing them 1 year at a time. So all we would be paying is the labor.
Right.
So, but that's what a lot of companies, because all the big buildings in town, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're buying everything up. So that was an option for us, but where we are in the landscape that we're in, it's unfortunate. So
This is the nicest budget proposal. Unbelievable. It's really nice.
So that's it. Did everyone get, because I know you guys are doing a 1-share file.
We're moving to
Right.
it. Yes. It's a
So
challenge.
did everyone get the budget and that I sent out? I know it got kicked back. I called Chuck.
Yeah.
You didn't get one? All right.
I did.
Yeah.
If you got paper copies, I'll just pass them around.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Just want to pass them around.
Sure. Yeah.
I think there might be, yeah, keep going.
There. Oh, you had your
Yeah.
your write-up?
Yeah. There's some on the bottom, I think. Here, let me pass it around again.
Yeah, I did see it on the.
Yeah.
Have you already met with Mary Beth to go over your
No,
fiscal? Okay.
no.
I know she's in the process
Yep.
of meeting with.
Appreciate
Yeah.
the write up on the administrative assistant.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that out ahead of time.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys got that too. Yeah, I just I ask every year, and I just wanted to put it in like why So,
That's right. If you don't ask, you don't know.
right.
So in your expense furnishings and equipment,
Yep.
is that where most of the stuff within this book would be coming out of? And does it cover those types of replacements that you said need
No.
to be done?
Yes and no. So right now, I control the utilities, maintenance, and repairs, the library, the town hall, and the senior center. I just took over the library last year, senior center the year before. Now, the goal was to take over fire and police. Mm-hmm. But I told my boss, I said, I can't do it. It's just, so I get a lot of invoices coming in. There's, this pretty much says what's going on, so I won't repeat myself, but it's just too much. I'll be underwater. I'm doing like all I can just to keep track of all the invoices that are coming in, new ones, that dealing with the vendors, dealing with the preventative maintenance, dealing with the capital projects this year.
Plus, those
next
two
year's.
departments do have admins that can help.
Well, yeah. So I said that to Mary Beth. I go, who do you think does the invoices over at the senior center or the library? Before I took it, they have somebody. I'm just me, so it is what it is.
So,
I mean, I
Makes
love
sense.
to. At that, it should be at the end of the day, all
yeah.
under me.
Yeah, I know we were
It
discussing
can't
it
be
the last
until
few years.
yeah, it just can't be until I have somebody. It just can't do it. So that basically is so the 147 that you see there is the 3 buildings. I tried to, and I think it would be good to break out like a whole new account and have it utilities.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I tried to do that last year, but I got shut down
Yeah, I mean, because a quick
Yeah.
look, obviously, for the
because it kind of just
new
jumbles
people,
everything.
it, it should be utilities.
Yes.
There should be that wording in
Yep.
there somewhere.
Yep.
Either, like you said, new line or
Yep.
add that in there. Very misleading.
Because I did go back and looked at what the library and the town hall and the senior center's utilities were and added it all up, and came out to total utilities. It was fiscal year 24 actually, so it was 99,957.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean we're
talking
going into
100,000
27.
already.
So last year it was 106,
Yeah.
and now we added cleaning because we don't have anybody.
Yeah.
So that's that 26.5 down below.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 14. It's 14.5 and change for the yearly cleaning at the library. It's 11.2 at the senior center. I added a little bit more, so I added maybe $300 or $400 to that, where it's 26.5 because I don't know what the prices are going to be next year. Coming up. I'm sure they're going to go up a little bit. And the elevators is the same. With that 55,000, you see with the admin assistant, you guys don't see it on the budget there, but it would have gone to 223 for the salaries, but it's 168. I didn't add that 55 into that total.
So, Todd, when you said you got shut down about wanting to add a line, utilities line,
Yeah,
that
they just wanted
Mary Beth,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
accountant.
It was Mary Beth. She just wanted to keep it simple and keep it like that because that's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
But
What would it take to get add a word or two, or change a word, to be more reflective of what that cost is, what that money's for? I wonder. We can ask Mary Beth.
yeah, just to break it up because
Well, it should be even. It really should be two levels, right? It should be overall utilities,
Yeah.
But then underneath it should be
Utilities and equipment.
sublines for each.
Yeah.
Like a library line.
Yeah,
Should be
and I have that in my office, so I know what's going on. Right.
Easily for
Yep.
because you
Yeah.
want to know.
Right.
Is
Even
there
at
something
town
going
meeting,
on?
somebody looks at that and they're
Right.
you're
It's
wondering
not.
the same thing.
It's not.
It's not reflective of
showing
what
the
it's really
truth,
going
right.
to.
Yeah.
And the only other thing that I would say, so if you look at the additional custodial services, is at $2,700. 3 years ago and beyond, that was at $10,000. And he doesn't work. He works with me, not for me. He's the custodian for the town hall. That's his job. He's in the union, Mike, and he's actually a licensed contractor, pretty much semi-retired. You know, and I used him a lot because on overtime, doing things that we needed versus hiring a contractor. I was getting him at the overtime rate here versus a contractor at a much higher rate. So that's been like hacked down, and so that's why I just want to add slowly. I'm not going to add, huge, but I added $300 just to get it up to 3,000, and then see what the landscape is next year, and add maybe. I'd like to get it up to at least. It was 10. I'd like to get it up to 7. I have very limited, and he does a lot of setting up, breaking down for all the events that go on. So that drains that. So it almost leaves me with nobody.
Is he snow removal too?
Snow
when needed.
Yep, snow removal, but that comes out of snow and ice.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't
All
affect
right.
the budget.
Okay.
Right.
Is he the custodian on the line above that?
Yes. Yep, he's the custodian. Yep, the first line. Second line
Second
after
line.
my
Yeah,
administrative assistant.
112.
I'll say that I've asked that you, as the manager, be placed up the top.
I know.
Like every other
I
manager.
tried that.
And for whatever reason, that
Yeah, I know. Whatever. I mean,
it's silly, but it should be done.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I mean, that's not a big ask, in my opinion.
no.
And you're right. I do remember when it used to be higher.
And so you see the 168 for the expenses at the bottom, and I'm asking for 181. So same thing. I asked for, I think, 180 last year, and I got 163, I think, 164. The reason why I'm asking, I like to have some sort of a cushion for anything that might be a major break. If I have something, then I instead of coming to you guys, it's there. If I have to come to you at the end of the day, I do. But last year I had nothing, and I think I turned over 11,000 at the end of the year. I didn't have a major anything. The year before that, I had a $10,000 on the HP1 condenser. That the pump went, and it was a big deal. Of course, it was the middle of summer. So I just like to have something there just for cushion. I'm not one to. Like I said, I turned over, I think it was 11,000 last year. I'm not one to just go out and spend the money to get rid of it. I don't do that. I get what I need, and that's that. But I just like to have a cushion, just for something that might go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just did a quick scan on the police and fire would be two departments. Would be looking at moving utilities over.
Yeah.
The police has a line for occupant / utilities, but there's no utilities line for the fire department. It's in there someplace. I'm
Right.
assuming under the really big expenses,
Right.
which is it's basically 10%, I think, of the total budget in one place. So we have no idea what expenses are. So
And as far as the administrative assistant part, I actually talked to IT's looking for somebody, and maybe it's not IT, maybe it's something, maybe it's two departments can share one. They have 1 2 days. I have 1 2. The same that works for facilities the other 2 days. Just to help catch up with invoicing. Maybe they do invoicing for me one day and set up appointments the other day, or vice versa, or whatever.
Yeah. My first thought after reading your explanation and knowing where we are was maybe suggest even if a part-time, obviously something
Right.
like that
Right.
might help out. Because it's a lot to keep track of.
It is. It is.
They should be able to do it themselves. Two big departments, police and fire, they have admins, don't they?
They have
They
admins.
should be able to do that. They have deputy chiefs now, and they can,
right.
so.
But it's more the question of the goal we talked about, actually the last 2 years,
Yep.
it was why do we spread that across the board? And I think the cleaning services was a good example. Was it two different companies that did the senior and did the library?
Yeah.
Moved them over the year, and now it's one company able to negotiate a better rate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if all the departments are doing all that stuff by themselves, even the electricity is the same way, right?
Oh, yeah.
You bring it together and say, look, we've got 5 buildings.
How much?
Let's talk about a rate.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
There's the power of scale that comes into play, and right now, by having it in all the individual departments, we lose that
Yeah.
negotiation tactic,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to move it over.
Right.
I don't think it would bother either chief if they didn't have to worry about it.
No, right.
It's odd if there's
No,
a problem,
yep.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not, they don't need to be taking on that particular
Right.
piece, but that's just the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
We just need to find a more efficient way,
Right.
and I think this
Well,
is.
Well, it's like any
So
project.
If that were to become the case, I think it was kind of brought up before. Maybe they could share some of their expense money to put towards the salary of somebody.
It's kind of, it's a business thing, right? You charge back
Yeah.
within the business and say,
Yeah.
for us to provide this, we've got to figure.
Right, like DPW charges water and sewer when they have to pave the street
Yep.
on fixing a water break.
So there's eight departments each kick in $5 grand.
Every day of the week I borrow
There you go.
employees,
You got 40 grand right there
Right.
for a salary. For
Right.
someone else.
Right.
So maybe that's a thought process, something that might
Yeah.
be able to help solve.
If you get a contract for all of them, and then obviously they sign off on it, you collect the bills
Right.
and you approve it. It's not difficult, right?
No, it's just shuffling the money around. But
It makes more sense.
if we could save more money than it costs
Sure, absolutely,
through that negotiation
absolutely.
power.
Yeah, I worked with Dave LeMay today to get all the pumping station generators that we used the East Coast to do all the buildings.
Yep.
Dave, we're using a different company, but they're going to switch over to East Coast and have them do all the pumping station generators to prevent the maintenance. And
So now you're spending some of your time working with water.
oh yeah,
I mean,
I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. So that's
Right.
Not
I
that
mean,
that-
now I get the head start school, so I had
Yeah,
to go
I
over
was
there
just
and
gonna say that.
drain that building out completely, flush
Oh.
out the boiler. It's an old steam boiler. Flush that out, get it winterized, get it, it was like 6 bathrooms in there. You winterize all the traps.
is that building empty now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you, any point, Todd, do you calculate the amount of time that you're spending on these other things? I'm just thinking, you add a
Well, this
value,
alone.
right? I know.
It's a lot of time.
Well, I think you're the only one that we don't see this out of any other department.
Well, it's just
We need to.
it helps me,
Yeah.
I mean, it helps you guys, but it really helps me
Yeah.
because it's all right there now. I'm not fishing around for things. I just
Yeah.
go right to that book. It's like my Bible.
But you provide a huge service to the other departments. It's not.
Right.
It's a weird one because
Yeah.
you indirectly you serve the taxpayers, but they don't actually see you.
No,
You're,
no.
You're not the person out on the street working for them. You're supporting the departments
Yep.
that support them. But it would be nice to somewhere, and again, maybe this is something, if we can afford an administrator, I agree, even as a part-time role, is track that to say, here's where it's coming in, because you're adding value that I think is getting lost.
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff like, what's the difference between what Dave was paying for that same contract versus the contract that you already have established?
Right.
Is there a savings from that? Is it a better rate, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like,
Yep.
Todd did this, but he also ended up saving us whatever it is, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 last year.
Well, yeah, I actually winterized the chiller at the police station. Now we were paying we were paying $4,000 a year for that.
Mm-hmm.
I do it, so it's $4,000 right there that we save. Well, probably more now. It's probably like
But
$7,000.
it doesn't go to your
No,
your budget.
No.
Right? And that's what we're saying is, if you're doing that work and they have a line item for that, it should not be then used for anything else. Pay it, whether it's in-house or out, right?
Right.
We have to think about that.
Yeah. It's I mean, we wish we didn't have to. Wish there was plenty of money, but when money's scarce to come by,
Right.
if
That's
people
the
are
thing.
helping others, maybe in order to afford it, maybe a little has to be taken and
Yep.
transferred to somewhere else to help out.
But yeah, my whole thing on writing this up was just to say, hey, don't forget me when we do have money. Hey, put me on top of the list, will you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, now that we have somebody in your role, and we can stay on top of these things. It's it's money. It's showing its
Right.
its merit already. We're getting some results. So it's good to have that info.
So as far as capital projects, I don't know if you saw the new porch on the senior center. We did the farmer's porch. It was just rotting away and everything.
Yeah.
We added, instead of white spindles, we added nice black spindles, black gutters on the front. It came out nice. And we got a new sign, a nice sign carved, deep carved.
Yep.
Yeah, just going to go in the spring.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Did I see something on the special town meeting? Do you have a warrant in there?
Yeah, that's for the 7,000.
Okay, that's for the
300, yeah.
library.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's for the library to pay that.
All right, yeah. All right, yeah. I looked at it briefly today.
Yeah. Well, thank God I had that money left over that I could transfer it out that I had from a previous capital project.
Yeah, when you think about it, not a lot of people realize that when these water breaks happened. I mean, we had
Right.
two on Washington Terrace.
Right.
And, next thing you know, everybody's, your water heater's getting all sludgy and
Yep.
bigger piece of things. So, and like when we had David, we all know the town, the water system's old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough on everybody.
So Todd, how many of your fiscal 26 capital projects have you done? You just said the farmer's porch.
Okay, we did the entire second floor of the fire department over. It was all rug. So the sleeping quarters was
Okay.
done. The entertainment area where they sit and watch TV, all carpet there, ripped up, new carpet. The deputy chief's office, the lieutenant's office, the sleeping quarters for the officers was tile. That's carpet now. The kitchen floor was completely done over. The EOC room, Emergency Operations Center, that was all carpet. That's all ripped up, LVT flooring. The chief's office was done downstairs, and Amy's office, the admin assistant, was done.
Okay, I'm looking at my budget, my capital budget from last year. The flooring is what I have for 28,000. You did all that for $28,000.
Actually, I did it for less.
Okay, and you did the farmer's porch. You had 33,000.
Yeah, we did that we did that like, I think it was 33, right around there, 32 something maybe.
Okay, and are these two other items yours? Police department Mitsubishi multi split,
Yeah,
and the library mini split.
Yeah, we added the mini split to the electrical room where the
So
server
those
is,
both done.
and we added we actually walled off that room. It's the electrical room
Yeah.
and the server room, and they were storing stuff in
Yeah.
front of the panels, and
Right.
so I used that money to wall it off, put a door there. It's the electrical room and server room, not storage.
So you've completed your capital projects
Yep.
for this year.
Yeah, they all started at the same time.
Yep.
So,
Of course.
yeah. So,
Well, we mentioned that we don't always follow up as a committee.
right.
Right.
Yep.
But
Might
this,
as well
that's
start.
something we want to try and do.
Might as
to
well
Yeah.
track,
Yeah.
see what gets done. Then obviously, if it gets done for cheaper,
Right.
then
Right.
that's good.
Well, that's what happened with that money that I had left over. We were looking to get the hot water. The cells at the police station, the state comes in, it has to get hot.
It has to be a
And years ago in another life when I worked at a nursing home,
Oh,
it
hot
was,
water
it was the
heater,
same thing.
$15,000.
It had to be, yeah. So, but we worked on it. I worked with the owner of Commercial Boilers, who's an awesome guy, old timer, great, and I've learned a lot from him. But we figured a way to do it cheaper, and that's why I started out with 15.9 for the project, and I ended up with 11.5 left over.
Good.
So that's where that money came to help now pay for this. That $7,000
Yes.
over there. So that worked out. So I was just getting ready to close that out. I was going to tell Jen, hey, close this out. I'm all done with it.
And when you close it out, then it goes back to the general
Yeah,
fund.
yeah. But
Yeah.
this way I was able to transfer that
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
some of it into
To that.
to the budget line. So it worked out at the end.
Nice.
Yeah. I know you're still kind of new in the role, but how long would it be before? I mean, you were saying you were getting ready to close it out. If a project's done, how long before you get fake.
I usually hold on to it for like a year just to make sure everything's good. You know,
Yeah.
the project itself. If something maybe showed itself that we
Yeah.
didn't see while doing it, then we got the money there. Then once I feel comfortable, then just turn it
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, because obviously there are other departments in the district that has much more bigger major projects that sometimes they don't spend all the money, and
Yeah.
and I think we got some money back somewhere last year or the year before that helped out. So it's good to know what's done and you know, a
Well,
timeline on when something can be returned.
Well, definitely when I do the projects, other than the farmers porch, but I try to be efficient. Like, what do we replace? We replaced all the pumps in the boiler room at the town hall. So there was 6 pumps, all ancient. Now we have real efficient pumps in there, run smooth. And I definitely see a difference tracking by benchmarking what we've been using for electricity with all the buildings, and definitely a difference here in town hall. And they have big rooms. You come up to the first floor lobby, the second floor lobby, downstairs lobby, the little hall. But there's been a definite energy difference with those pumps for sure. So
Good.
Other questions or thoughts?
Good presentation, John.
no, thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, if you could only get other department heads to do this. I harp on it every year at the Capital Committee. And one member claims it's not possible, and it's like, yes, it is.
You know
Yes,
what?
it
We're
is.
going to leave them out on the table so everybody else that comes in can see what
Yeah.
is possible without an administrative assistant. Too.
Well, like I said, it helps me a lot, but it gives you guys a window into
Yes.
what we own and what's coming up.
What's coming up.
For forecasting for what we need to do.
All
So,
right.
all right.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Nice
so
meeting you
much.
guys.
Good.
Take care.
Yes.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
thank you again for everything you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was looking at last year's town warrant on that, so it's $120,000 worth of work was allocated that he did.
Yeah. He's very good.
It's like, okay,
A question on the school budget formula, but I realize we want to talk about the facilities budget. But do we need to coordinate that with Hanson? If we come up with this formula that says we're going to give X amount of dollars, and then Hanson's like, good for you, we're not doing that. Does it
gonna
matter?
tell you, having spent many years on the Regional Agreement Amendment Committee, we don't want to be beholden to Hanson to say we'll both do the same thing. No, I think what happens is Whitman decides how much it will approve for the operating expense, and Hanson just goes along because they're significantly less than us. Reluctantly, sometimes they whine. 2 years ago at town meeting, they said no, and we had voted it not contingent on an override, and they ended up funding the schools. So I don't know that we want to get involved in trying to get them to agree to a formula. It's not a hostile arrangement, it's just they do their thing and we do ours.
But they historically follow our lead, more or less.
The big problems.
Sometimes, well, they don't communicate as much with the schools as we do. Jeff Simonek has acknowledged that at least Whitman tells them what he has to work with. Hanson keeps him in the dark.
Yeah.
I think their finance committee has ways of absolutely hiding money in articles that are never spent, and then their free cash is significantly higher than ours because of that. They have $3 million in free cash this year. We have $1 million. And so I don't think we can model ourselves over what goes on in Hanson.
Okay.
And I'm not in love with the 3 formulas that we came up with because it was a selectman, another selectman, and then a town person who's very involved in civic. John is very engaged in civic affairs, but there was not a school person at any of those meetings to say, where's this 42% coming from? So,
That's my thought is, we'll look at the formulas, but
what's that?
it's like, we'll look at the formulas, but I think it's where do we want to be, right? And I think you have to factor that in as far as how much are we funding our schools.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree that there's a magic formula, and this is the one that you live with. Things change over the years. Some years they need more than others, and some years they need less than others. But the mess that they're in this year I'm still trying to dig out. I have way too much financial information, like bury you in papers. So it's like, which ones do I start to focus on? I believe the big problem this year was that actual salaries were not used to predict what the salary budget line was going to come in. How can you not do that? But they didn't.
This also opened up a door where other people started chiming in, and more information has gotten out, I believe, when we're compared to other schools, and larger schools have less administrative positions than we do. So it's like top heavy over there.
Saw that Facebook post?
Oh yeah, and it's
It was
wow.
a really interesting analysis.
It was by
Why do we have so much administrative
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it.
when other
overhead.
schools that are bigger than us have less?
Yeah.
So now it's not going.
like you
And I
said,
don't know if-
it opened the door
Oh,
for
big time. So now, which is a good thing. It's almost
Yeah.
like an
Absolutely.
audit by the
yeah.
by the
Yeah.
town people. You know.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opening
Oh, big time.
analysis.
I was like, wow.
Well, they had a better lobbying group when it comes to election time. That's what it was.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna look at the overrides, and they're gonna look at it more carefully now. You know.
But I don't subscribe to that. I actually don't do Facebook anymore, but it's just one of the things that always pops up is if it comes to push and shove on the budget, it's always how many room teachers will be losing their job. But then you look at the numbers that are out there. It's almost a 2-to-1, if you come down to it. In some of those areas, none of those non-teaching positions were on the block, right? So it's you hear it all the time. We don't want to do a scare tactic, okay? But you kind of are. You're telling us you're going to lose a schoolroom teacher. You've got 5 administratives here. You've got this. You've got that. I'm not saying that they're not worthwhile to have, but is that really the place you go
The
after?
phrase is
Well, we have to cut.
student-facing positions. Are you in a classroom talking to a child? Or are you taking a child out of a classroom to remediate them? Those are student-facing positions as opposed to people in offices who are looking at data or whatever other administrative responsibilities they've got.
I
And
feel like a lot of that came like 2 assistant superintendents, 2 financial advisors. Why do we need all that?
Backup.
Backup for the backup.
well, the
Right.
financial advisor situation is a little. John Stanbrook resigned as business manager, but he's working on the
Still get paid.
audits.
That's right.
Because he knows he has institutional history. So I'm actually grateful for him sticking around because he wanted to be out of here 2 years ago. But then we have a consultant. So I agree with you. There's an awful lot of money being spent in the business management part of that. That's an area that's going to have to be improved in the future.
Now, will the school committee has a say in that? When the superintendent brings up the budget? So the superintendent brings the budget to the school committee and
Yes.
they vote on the budget. So they can say no, right?
I think the answer is yes to a point. But I was on the
can't say,
Milton
"Let's
School
cut this."
Committee way before education reform for 9 years. We had a lot more authority. We interviewed principals. We interviewed special ed directors. We interviewed a lot more people than just the superintendent. And then ed reform completely changed that. They only hire the superintendent. They don't hire anybody else. So I can't honestly say at what level they can say, no, we're not going to support a second superintendent. I will ask my friends on the committee, can you say no to the second superintendent, or can you say no to whatever new position is being suggested? That
Right,
is
so
not-
if like they came with the budget and the school committee was like, no, we're not supporting this budget because we don't believe this position should be here.
Never heard anyone say that. I've heard school committee members move to cut the budget by X number of dollars, but they never say where they want to take it from.
And the superintendent decides that.
Right.
Yes,
Which that doesn't seem right to me. So.
yeah. Not the way it's going now. Definitely isn't.
Might
A
be
lot
some
of
changes.
executive sessions over there.
Yes.
I feel like the school committee should have more say over that.
Not
Just
sure
one
how.
person.
I'm not sure how far down the budget gets broken to them.
Sounds like they've
Few
been
of
not given much information that they've asked for historically from going
No,
to some
Dawn
school
Byers
committee
is-
recently.
Dawn Byers has asked for years because she has the Hanover public school budget that has the name and salary of every employee of Hanover, what they do and how much they make. And she's asked for that for the 6 years she was on the committee and was never given it.
Yeah.
And it's public information.
Record,
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
too bad someone didn't say, you know what, that's a good idea, because they wouldn't be in the pickle they're in now.
Should make it like a policy.
They're revamping everything. They've created like 4 subcommittees out of it. And,
And there are people in town asking for all of this financial information, which they're entitled to, but then what are you going to do with it? How much time is it going to take up for the administration to, give you what you're asking for? And is there going to be some outcome, or are you just curious? Or are you really going to do something with that
I
information?
think the people who are asking for that are looking for some nefarious action. I think it's incompetence.
I agree.
I don't think it's nefarious personally.
Yeah. Well, I've said it. No one took 1.4 million. They didn't budget enough to begin with. They overspent.
Right.
And it's hard when you look some of the positions. I'm sure that there are positions that could be reduced before you hit classroom teachers, but you don't know, right? A lot of times a school will have somebody attached to the principal or superintendent's office whose primary job is to file for grants. That's all they do, because they know how to write the grant, they know where to send it, they bring in more through those grant systems than their salary is. Should we get rid of that person? So now we don't get any grants, which means none of that money comes in. But if you're just looking at the numbers through those things, Kevin, you're right. You don't know what that role does, not the person, but what does the role actually do? Where does it bring value to the overall system?
Maybe a little more transparency like Hanover's would help.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a big deal because it's such a big portion of the budget. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So who else are we expecting
So
next?
7:30 we should have recreation department here. And I gave him 15 minutes, and then council on aging at 7:45. We've got a couple of minutes. Do we want to do any of those
The minutes.
These minutes?
meeting
That'd be a
minutes?
good idea.
Elizabeth, can you guide us on which minutes need to be approved?
We found a couple that were
9/9, 10/7, and the one from last night. I'm not sure if you guys got them. I printed out a few of them if you didn't. December 9.
Thank you. So this round, I did not see any changes.
Is this the last week's? I printed it out.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And that. Yeah, and this particular one is exactly what you said earlier, Kathleen. This is the one where we were asked if we would support $150,000 to support the police and fire budget, $75K each, as opposed to what we're seeing in the town warrant for special town meeting, which is double that number.
Mm-hmm.
Who changed that?
Don't know.
I don't know.
A quick question: when you have the police chief and the fire chief?
I don't know.
It's just so frustrating.
I just think this is
It's going to be similar.
perfect minutes to look at.
Right.
Does anybody have? Well, actually, let's get a motion. No, anybody have any major changes to be made in here?
Which ones are you
So this is
looking at?
9/9.
9/9.
Right now we're
Number
on
9. Yep.
December 9th.
If not, then could I have a motion to accept as written?
We're talking September 9th
September.
or December?
September 9th.
September.
Oh,
I don't know.
Let's just start with the furthest one back. And
Yep.
Can you read that?
See, we got one or two of these done.
That's all right. This is pretty, I think you'll remember though, this is the 225.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a
Here we
motion.
go.
Motion to approve.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Kathleen, thank you. Any changes? Last call. No? Then all in favor of accepting September 9th's minutes as written, please raise your hand. We have unanimous. So that's,
All right, Mike. Looks like, if I may step in, just on my email, Kathleen just emailed us about 10 minutes ago, recreation,
okay.
that she's...
Kathleen Woodward.
Kathleen Woodward, yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, gonna have to reschedule Recreation Commission FinCom meeting. I'm sorry for short notice, not prepared to meet tonight. Has not met with the Recreation Commission to discuss the budget.
Okay.
All right.
Can you, I don't have access to my email here.
Yeah.
Could you see if she would be available anytime at between at 6:45 on January 6th?
Okay.
So I'm thinking it would pop her in there, and then I'll send out a message to the fire and police to see if we can have them come in right after that.
January 6th.
But we'll have to send a new, an updated agenda for that night there. Because after that, we're pretty well booked until February 24th. Okay. Do we have time to do the other one? It was in October. Was it?
October 7th.
October 7th and then December 9th.
Okay, October 7th.
Yes.
Okay.
She already pulled this off the
It
share.
was a short meeting.
This is a very short
Just
meeting.
download it.
I'll move the minutes of October 7th.
Second.
Okay, moved and second. Any other changes to October 7th? Hearing none, let's have a vote on that. All the willing to accept as read. Have again.
Wait a minute, I'm abstaining. I
You're
wasn't there.
abstaining. Okay,
I wasn't there.
so that's a 6-1-0-2.
601.
Well, 2 absent tonight. Oh, yeah, you just do who's here. Right, sorry.
601.
601. Thank you. Right. And then the last one is 12-9. Last week's.
I was not here, but it was interesting to see the building inspector who we made a big push at town. He made himself a big push at town meeting. Full time was it not renewed, and now there's a part-time building inspector.
That's why I asked him the other day.
What was that?
The incumbent
Yeah.
at town meeting, his contract expired June 30th and it was not renewed. And Jim Ewell is only available part-time because he also has business, his own business. So at the timing of it, he's an experienced building inspector, but he's not available,
Yeah.
but would be available down the road for full-time.
And wasn't it the intention though?
What?
That it was going to be him full time?
I know that Mary Beth was looking for a full-time building inspector with experience.
Because I thought it originally was him. Because I know a lot of his friends, and we kind of congratulated him on the job. It was a full time job, and now we went back to part time. That was kind of like
Well, it was part-time on his by him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it sounds like he's interested in maybe transferring, but I think he's trying it out. Kind
So
of like,
did the budget call for next year to be funded at full time?
Next year's budget's.
Yeah.
It does.
so the money won't be spent. That was the first question.
No.
You're not getting paid full time like a full time
Right,
No,
employee.
prorated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like 20, was it 22
22
hours?
22 hours.
Yeah.
No, we don't, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Which isn't 50%, because right, full time is 31.
Right.
Full time is 31?
Full time
Yes.
31.
I'd
Yeah,
like to
yeah,
find
that's
a
right, it's like
full-time
two-
job at 31
To
hours.
qualify for benefits, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
My wife, better than mine.
How far different.
Huh? Sixty, 70 hours a week.
Kathleen Woodward was just she texted me. I was like, just reading your email, so hopefully she'll
No
respond.
worries. No worries. Thank you.
So do you have a motion and a second on the?
We do not.
I move December 9th.
All right, move first. Kathleen is moving to accept as read, as written, and Alice second. Any other changes on here? Actually, there are no changes, it was just discussion. All right, then. Then let's call that to vote, please. All in favor of accepting as read? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1 abstention, because Kevin was not here that night.
There you go.
All right, wow.
We're all
Right
caught
up.
up.
Whew. Thank you.
So Kathleen was supposed to be here tonight, but is not. Mary is a new addition, but she is here.
Counseling on Aging.
Mary
Control.
Holland. Mary Holland.
Yeah, if she is, we can bring her in early.
And Recreation has confirmed. She said she can do that time.
Okay.
6:45 on the 6th.
There we go. Oop.
Yeah, your daughter working more hours, and she work a lot more. Your wife and your daughter working more hours.
It's crazy.
Oh, my wife is too. It's like,
I have to text her. Do you have 5 minutes? She'll text me. Can you pick up Emma for me?
because they're all going back to the office now, mostly now. She has Fridays out and they do floating, we call it days at home, like 16 a quarter. It's not bad. You know.
When you
She's
make
on
the
fire,
big
it's fun,
bucks.
though. Shows your daughter, you know.
Julie takes the train.
She does?
She doesn't park. No,
Really?
she'll take the commuter rail and then walk. Although it was more convenient when they were in the building right across from South Station.
Well, Andrew takes her friends and they all pay for it because I think it's real discounted parking in the whole night.
Julie doesn't like to drive in the
All
city.
right, good, updated.
I like going to Boston. If you ever go to Boston, just grab me and a pass.
Okay.
It's privilege to park, you know.
Me, I don't like to drive to the city. I take the commuter rail. All those years I worked in Cambridge.
She's offered.
Thank you. No, it's very kind of you, Al. I appreciate it. An offer I'm not apt to take up.
Was the Council on Aging the one where they lost one of the positions
One
were
of the-
cut?
yeah.
And there was, she made a very,
In one of the
very polite,
budget cuts.
yeah, passion kind of plea not to further cut, but the budget was set. Okay.
Yeah. The only one that I'm still waiting to hear from is Gary Joyce over in Historical. All the others are done.
The meeting tonight, you want me to go over and ask?
Come on in. Let me go.
Hey, budget looking.
So you have heard from the town clerk?
I received an email, said
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Did she send you a budget?
I do not have a budget.
Okay.
And I have not seen it come through from Mary Beth yet either.
Mike, what about the assessors? Do you have anything on?
Assessors, yes.
You did?
Yep. Yeah, I was telling Kathleen and Chuck for some reason my email was not sending.
Well, I know there was a lot of.
But then,
His changes.
yeah, well, but even some, I don't know. It could be, but it's just, I've had a couple of issues with sending email. Some will send, some don't. I'm assuming it's a bad address or something that's just not processing, but it is possible.
Do you want to take committee reports while we're waiting for?
Might as well, yeah.
Okay. No new report from the oh, yes, there is. We did have a capital committee meeting last week, and we have $3.3 million, I think we were shown that last night, in requests, and $500,000 to fund them. So the capital committee will be meeting again in early January to prioritize the requests. There's no way that $500,000 is going to be stretched across $3.3 million worth of asks.
Question for you on that. Is one of those asked, one of the fire truck?
Yes.
So that's 1.5, so it's
Yeah.
really 1 okay.
But that's a little weird too, because the way that works, having talked to the chief, we place the order. We don't have to pay anything
Right.
for 4 years. So it's a capital request, but it's a request for 4 years down the road.
Can't do that.
And there's money in the,
Well, the price of the engine goes up almost $200,000 a year. It takes 4 years for them to make it. So if we wait for 4
That's
years,
absolutely crazy.
it'll be almost $1 million more to buy it, and we still have to wait 4 years before they can deliver it to us.
And you can cancel, and there's no repercussions.
Right, because someone else
No
is out there
penalties.
waiting for a fire truck,
Yeah.
and they'll take it.
We should have already done this, but we really need to get in
Yeah.
the queue on this.
Like, I don't understand, if there's absolutely no repercussions, you cancel, then there's zero risk, so why not just put in the order, and if you get close and, we're not gonna have the money, then you
Yep.
cancel it.
When is the next meeting, Kathy? know?
It's January, but I don't have the date off the top of my head. If I check my calendar, I might be able to find it.
And we have the ambulance fund, which is supposed to be putting money aside for the new vehicle.
I thought that
So
was
it's like
capital-
budgeting.
Capital stabilization account, that's for the fire truck.
There's also an ambulance,
But that's from
Is that for an ambulance?
I
that's
was
a
under the
different account.
impression that the,
Yeah,
it's a different account.
it's a different account, which they aren't doing. Was supposed to be the first $150,000 of revenue generated by the ambulance receipts was going to go into this account. And over 3 years, they'd have enough money to buy a new ambulance because the replacement time is every 3 years a new ambulance. That's not happening.
The projected revenue is there, right?
Well, the projected revenue was lower than they projected, but there was still $150,000 they could have put in had they chosen to.
Feel free to sit down.
But they didn't.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah, that should.
There are policies that are in place that are fiscally sound policies, and they, aspire to making fiscally sound decisions. But then, when push comes to shove,
So warmed up, right,
policies
Mary?
are not.
Oh, good. Somebody warmed it up for me?
Todd just left.
Oh, excellent.
He was
Hi,
telling us about the
everyone.
new porch.
Love it. You know what I love? It's the little things in life, guys. So I can see my front porch from my window. Our old one had chipping paint on the railings, and the spindles were wood on the outside, so you couldn't hold on and like slide your hand up the railing.
Oh, otherwise it's splinters.
Oh.
You hit all the spindles on the outside. So we now have railings that they can hang on to that, and there's round ones in the inside. Literally, I watch everyone going up and down, hold on to the railings. I'm like, love it. It's the little things in life, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it's we had people at one woman actually fell backwards down the stairs at one point. So the fact that I can watch people safely up and down the stairs, it's like makes my day.
Well, that's in the positive column.
Yep,
We
yep.
have-
No one hopefully is
we have
going to kill
accomplished
themselves.
something.
The first snow happened, and we were properly sanded all the way through, so that was lovely too. Years past, that has not been. So it's lovely to see all the. I mean, there's a lot in my building too, but but no one's slipping in the parking lot. That's good too. Anyhow, are you new?
Yes, Kevin.
Kevin, nice to meet you, Mary.
Let's just go
I
around.
recognize you. Ian, Mary, Colin.
Jim, how you
Oh, I know you. You're old too. Not old, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, hi everyone.
Hi, Mary.
Mary's doing great.
Good.
Everything's good. I'm enjoying my job still.
Joke
Enjoying my
first
people
tonight?
still.
That's
You
good.
usually open with today's, joke of the day.
Well, I tell a lot of jokes. I gave one out today. What was the one I told on the bus this morning? It's really hard to come up with material when you're not a comedian. Oh God. And now I can't remember it. Not only do I tell jokes, but I don't remember the jokes.
Sorry.
I know the punchline. I can't remember like the first part.
That's the important part.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Jeopardy. Give us the punchline, we figure out what the joke was.
I say all the time, people don't care what. I don't want to say they don't care, but I feel like they don't listen half the time. They're always like waiting for the joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you hear anything I said besides the joke?
Yeah.
They listen, they record them so they can play them back. That's how great I am. They're all bad dad jokes. Anyhow, but things are good. We're cooking along.
I did not see or get a
Preliminary?
yeah from Mary Beth yet, so I don't know if you.
I got my preliminaries.
Have
What
you
I
met with
get?
Have you met with Mary Beth?
No?
Okay.
That's probably why we didn't get one from her yet. Okay.
So I got my thing in the, my email with my Excel,
Yeah.
and I punched in my numbers, what I have.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to read I always forget what you want me to read and how you want me to read numbers. Am I reading line numbers like one? There's a lot of numbers.
No, yeah.
It should be like
Just
We,
the person?
director. Yeah.
So, and you want my new request for next year.
yes, if you would.
So I got my director at 80,110. I've got my administrative assistant at 44,396.
Sorry, one more time.
Administrative assistant at 44,396. Drivers 42,899. Clerical is 20,093. Outreach coordinator 31,351. My expense and maintenance, I don't know if you guys have the decreased because now Todd's got all the utilities at
Right.
5,000. And that's all I got on my list.
Okay.
How's that compared to last year's, so the total number versus last year's total number?
Last year's total
Or this
with
year's, current year's.
yeah, with the expense and everything. Last year was 218,398, and this time we're at 223,849. Which is that right? Does this line up?
Yes.
I didn't have
Yes.
2.43% change overall. Is that right?
I have
Sounds
two.
about right.
I'm right in the ballpark, I think.
Yes.
That following rules.
Yeah.
So, what?
Should be elsewhere.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good over there. I'm fortunate. I had one person leave me quite a bit of money a few years back that I used for like all our programming and everything. That was just gifted to us. I've had other people gift money as well, and I say other people, but other seniors have gifted money that
Really?
I use. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. They're really
It's the jokes.
It's the jokes. That's what's getting them. I think that honestly, and I'm not saying this sound whatever, but I think for a long time there wasn't a lot happening over there. I think that they really enjoy coming out.
Yeah.
They enjoy being involved,
Enjoy
and
you.
and the people that can financially afford to are giving because they want to see that continue.
Absolutely.
And I say this, the demographics of the town are getting older, and I said, one of the things, if you listen to anybody talk about seniors and aging, is if you want them to be able to stay in their house as long as possible and not be, in the nursing homes and so forth, is staying busy, staying active, keeping your body moving, keeping your mind moving. And how do we do that? By keeping people engaged, by keeping them coming out. A lot of times people think senior centers are for old people. I tell them it's where the cool kids hang out. I've got people in their 80s that say they're not old enough to come. But you know what I'm saying? Like that, if you want to keep the population going in a positive direction as far as health and so forth, I just think an active senior center is extremely important. And it's all different. Like I actually have a bus that hasn't come back yet. It should be home by 8:30. But one of our Bloom trips today. So I say I have younger seniors, middle seniors, older seniors. My younger seniors are more active and financially have a little more spending power. So anyhow, they went out to Yankee Candle today. They went through Bright Lights, and they're on the bus on the way home. They should be rolling in at 8:30.
Stuff with a local bar.
I'm sorry?
Stuff up in the local bar.
There's a bathroom on the bus, which is important.
Probably an encore.
Yeah. But anyhow, so I just think like doing well as far as keeping everybody involved and keeping people going, and again, different things for everybody. You know, the downfall always I say is we don't have enough space, but we make do with what we have. We, you know, adjust and do what we're going to do to make it work as best we can.
So, did you have a step increase for the administrative assistant? Because that is higher than the 2.5%. Okay.
Yes,
So I
she
figured-
is. She's only. She gets the steps. She's newer. Unfortunately, my old assistant left because she needed more money.
Yeah.
So this is the new, but she gets the
Yeah.
steps. So she will have that for the 5 years, which is technically really 4 years because the first step is your first year, I believe.
Okay.
The way it kind of works out.
Okay.
And clerical, I'm looking at the numbers that I have here, went down. Salary went
Yeah, because I
down.
lost my afternoon.
Ah,
That was a budget cut.
That's the one.
So we have volunteers covering things.
You handled it with grace.
I
still
try.
open 5 days a week, right?
I am. You know, ideally, would I like to have what I get it, but life is life, and yeah.
how is it affecting you? From the program? Actually, how is it affecting
People are
the
throwing money
people that
at
are
it.
using it?
They're throwing money
Yeah,
at
that's
it.
So of all the places that, you know, obviously I had to say, I guess you'd say, and where the cut was going to happen, because my afternoon is going to be my less busier in the clerical. My mornings are much busier because we have buses out, we have people calling. Seniors in general usually are more active in the morning as the day goes along, a little less busy in-house. So my volunteers are doing great, to be honest with you. That I have, they actually say they love coming. Sometimes I'm like, oh guys, I feel bad because they're covering a lot, but they're enjoying being there. They're
Shoveling up the snow.
no, they're not doing that. They're in the office, but they're enjoying being there in the office. So
Keep them busy. That's awesome.
you know, it's working out.
So it's clerical. So what are the clerical?
They're answering the
duties?
phone. They're signing people up for activities. We have dial-a-bat. Dial-a-bat goes out. They have to be scheduled, so on and so forth. They're doing those things. Greeting people, whatever. One of them likes to try to run down to get the medical equipment. I'm like, please stop, because we have a basement. We don't have a lot of space. All our medical equipment is in the basement. We have people donate it. We keep it. People need it. We loan it. So on and so forth. So you know, walkers.
have all that stuff?
Commodes.
You know,
Yeah.
all this stuff?
We have all that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't charge. I mean, again, it's donated to us. We just give it out to anyone who needs it. But it means we run up and down the stairs with what?
So we've used it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've donated.
Well, you know, some people need it. Sometimes it's surgery. It's not even all seniors. You know, I had one of the policemen in town. His son had a major incident with his leg playing a sport and needed a chair and, you know, different things. So we loan it out to anybody and everybody. And I say, keep it, again, it's donations. Keep it as long as you need it. If you can return it, whatever it may be. But it's all in the basement. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of,
Crutches.
there are crutches. I don't keep a lot of crutches because those aren't requested that often.
Walkers.
But I do have them, yeah. Walkers, rollators,
Yeah.
commodes, bed rails,
Yeah.
you name it.
Oh, yeah.
So when I took the job, no one told me how much it was involved of every day.
It's a lot.
It's like running a household, though. Like I said, and you know, you're going to the basement, you're dragging your crap out, you're bringing it up, you're bringing it down, all that good stuff. The buses need to get inspection stickers, just like cars. They break down. You got to get them over there. You got to service them. You know, it's just like another household
Yeah.
with a lot of people.
A bunch of unruly kids. Hanging around, right? So,
The kids all play nice for the most part. But anyhow, I'm pretty simple.
what would you like to have? If money was not
The
our
one,
issue,
yeah.
what would make
the one thing is space. If I had more space,
Yeah.
you know, a bigger building, a bigger place.
Take a look at the Cordell building.
I need to go through it all. My biggest concern from the outside with that building is the parking. You know, like
Where's this? Which building?
the Head Start one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The parking is I don't have great parking to start with. I don't know, the parking down there, I feel like it's right on a corner. I don't know if that's going to be worse or better. And during the summer, you've got the recreation programs going on. There's a lot of people parked all on, what is that street there? Hazel? No. what's that street? The one way, I forget. But that street is
Yeah.
always full of cars.
It's always busy in that one way.
It's busy. So my concern would be, again, it's not, I don't know if it's less than I have, but I think it might, that location might be even harder for people trying to park and get into a building safely.
You ever thought about the armory, looking for space in there?
It's been brought up.
Yeah.
I've never been in that building, and I don't know how much it would
Parking,
need.
Recreation.
The parking there would be great.
Yeah, it's a good spot. There's no
Mm-hmm.
you know, at one time I thought about that way back when.
Yeah.
You know,
The parking would be fabulous there. The building itself, I don't know how much it needs and so forth in that building.
I don't know how much parking is there.
Over the armory?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
well,
The
behind.
thing with the
Behind the
armory
church.
is you'd never be able
Well,
to keep
that's
more
church
than-
parking. That's
Yeah.
that's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's drafty and
Even with the upgrades, I
Legion
think
too.
that,
Too.
yeah, like it would need a lot
What
more
is the
work and a
armor?
lot more insulation than
Yeah.
what they've been
What
able
is
to
the
do.
armor?
Oh, it's behind the fire department.
yeah.
It's a
You're right,
beautiful
that's
building. But
Yeah.
We should
So the Head Start building, I haven't been over there for a while, but don't they have it in a? If they isn't there like some play areas from when the kids? I mean, maybe if they
In the front.
cleared out the front.
Yeah, well, I'm
and made
thinking
it a-
more parking
if-
there.
Yeah.
I even in my head, I was like, I wonder if they could put like a second level of parking with a one way in and a one way out because you don't want anybody hitting into anybody. I have no idea, but like I think the parking would be my main concern. Of again, it's not great here, but it would be better. I think it's better on this end
Yeah.
than it would be on that end.
Yeah.
And the more people that come, the more issues we have with the parking.
How
Yeah, I
long
think
is
there
that
would be
building
some
gonna
challenge. I mean, you could. I'm looking
Just
at
a
it.
year. Just the
Saying,
start.
Google Streets. It's great.
Head Start was
Yeah, you could
funded
wipe
by
out
federal
that. There's a fence in front of it.
Yep, you can
And
add parking
convert
in the
that
front.
whole out. Yep.
Yeah.
The problem I see is you put parking there, and anybody who's bringing their children to the playground across
Mm-hmm.
the street, they're going to be parked in front of your place. You're still not going to. It's
Yeah.
like ball games where you are
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
Nobody's going to get a spot to park.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a concern, you know, like even when we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
events, like, so I just had the Christmas party last Wednesday. I have Dan Kelly. I'm grateful. I get lots of people helping me from the town volunteering. Dan Kelly's Board of Health. So Dan does my like directing valet parking if need be. He's done it for multiple years for me. He's helped people just park in the lot because just parking in the lot out here sometimes is challenging for some of the people. I run my bus to pick people up, but then I also offer my bus to shuttle people from the police station parking lot. Because again, even if you've got to park down the street, for someone with a mobility issue, that's too far. You know, and if they're coming up themselves and parking, somebody else is going to park their car for them.
Yep.
It's an issue. And even with all that planning and everything else, I had one woman that fell. She parked, where are we in the building? We're in the,
Down
Streets in
right
front
there.
of us.
Yeah,
That's-
Yeah.
so the back.
Duval is over to our left.
Back there over that way.
Yeah.
She parked and I think she had gone up on the sidewalk. I'm not even sure what she did or whatever, but there's a big drop off from the sidewalk down to the street.
Yeah.
She managed to
Oh,
fall there. Tara O'Hearn, who's one of our police, happened to be out there. She called. She ended up being transported. Shoulder was the issue, but she landed. And again, it's those issues, like I said, that getting into a building when we don't have safe parking, you know. And she didn't even want to go by ambulance. I had gone out because I was like, someone's like, we have medical here. I'm like, for who? I'm like, I'm inside. I'm like, I don't think anything happened. They're like, there's something. So then I saw, and I went out and I saw what was going on. And she was too cute because she didn't want to go. She's like, I want to go in. I'm like, you can't. I'm like, you have to go get your shoulder. I didn't know if they thought it was her arm, but I was like, you can't come in if you're, yeah, no, you know, I'm like, you have to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the old Santander is still sitting there empty.
I
No,
had asked,
Mary
and
Beth
then,
has-
yeah,
I
and I
think
had
she
asked
looked
back
into it.
because I was like, maybe they'll donate it to the town
Yeah,
because that would have parking
that
and
would be
yeah,
a nice spot.
yeah, it still keeps them in the center. Because the other thing
Yeah.
too is our buses run Monday and Tuesday around town, so people that don't drive will take the bus and they can come uptown, they do their stuff, and they'll walk over to the center afterwards.
Yeah,
So it keeps us centrally located as far as walkability too.
Yeah, it is a plus being right there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm always concerned with the older building, the armory, and other things. Those were buildings, most were built in the 40s and 50s, which as soon as you walk in there, asbestos.
Yeah.
You know, that was all the tiles will be asbestos. They found that when they did the police station.
Yeah.
And it was a huge cost.
Even our building I've thought about, but that would involve a cost, and also someone willing to do it. But I've thought about if we had access to the parking lot behind us, we could have like a walkway that comes right over to our ramp, and then my parking lot area, if we could add on there, building wise. But the
Oh, is that
back
right?
parking
Is that
lot
the
is
back of
owned
Family
by.
Dollar?
Dollar Tree.
Yeah, it's
Dollar Tree.
Family Dollar. It's never full. That parking lot is
No,
never
it
full.
never is.
Only thing that happens is their trash blows under the fence into our space. But
Throw it back.
Too bad when it was Jubert's, they didn't, give you guys an easement or something.
well, that's who still owns it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they still own that. And again, I see the parking lot empty all the time. It's never full, and there's a lot of parking there and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm like, if we could use that. And again, the way our ramp is and the way the height of that, you could actually, like I said, have like a right over, and then potentially something more added on in the parking lot that would leave us in our space and just give us more room. But I'm not quite sure.
maybe they'd go in and shop at the Family Dollar.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
that's my main issue in life is space. Because obviously, if I had more space, like we have different things going on, but it's hard to run anything more than one event at a time.
Right.
Because literally all I have is the sliding pocket kind of thingies that. So, even when we do chair yoga once a week and the ladies are great, they all come, but, I get the cribbage people out in the other room making a ton of noise while they're doing their Zen chair yoga right through the folder. So, and I do have 2 technically spaces, but there's only one way. Like if you have something in here, you have to open this slider and those sliders to get into there. So, again, we do our best with what we have. There's a lot of juggling.
Yeah.
We put up tables, we take down chairs all the time.
Others? Thoughts? This is generally a pretty easy one.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Good presentation.
I'm sorry?
man.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, you're welcome. Again, I love what I do. I love my people.
Get those donations coming out, will you? Yeah.
One thing to put on our list for next year is I would love to have, it doesn't have to be an exact list, how many people take part in your programs,
Sure.
right? I think what you offer is a great service. It's something not every town can offer. You do a nice job with it, you and your staff.
Thank you.
But if we knew what people don't know what the impact is, right?
Yep.
Is that coming back? There's a lot of people I see over there all
Yep.
the time. And actually, my wife and I have to stop over too.
Yep.
We have some questions about retirement. So,
Yep. So you're going to see Jill. That's another
Yeah.
service.
But I mean, that sort of stuff is
Yep.
it's lost if we don't know the number.
Yep.
And so yeah,
So we use what's called my senior center with data, and I can definitely get those numbers.
yeah, it just advertises what you
Yep.
do, right?
Yep.
It makes it easier to sit there and say, hey, you're really not costing us a lot of money
No.
in the long run.
No, we're not.
Absolutely not.
Back and hanging out next year.
not at all.
No,
And
and when you come down, I mean, put my finance hat on. It's just I'm looking at what's the cost per service, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, the police, I'm sure, are pretty high there, but they have to be. It's
Yep.
it's the nature of the beast.
Yep.
But I think your ratio is probably going to be crazy good
Yeah.
in the fact that it doesn't cost us a lot, but it really does affect a lot of people, and it's goodwill if nothing else.
Yep.
So
huge. Anyhow,
great, thank you.
good to see you all. Nice to meet you. If you sign up, I'll get you some jokes.
Thanks, Mary. What that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see you.
That's a good one. I literally have. Well, what's funny is people give me joke books now. I'm like inundated with joke books. Everyone's like, I got you a joke book. I'm like, oh, great. But I have so many joke books now.
Start telling them now you have to read them.
Yeah.
People love them though, so I have to say, even something as small as that, I have to tell you that people will come in that I've never met and they crack me up because they'll like hear me talking and they hear my voice over the phone because I put out the calls. They're like, are you Mary Holland? I'm like, I am. The lady that tells the jokes? I'm like, it is me. But for the people that are out that don't ever get to come in, it's important and they hear that and it's a connection even if they're not able to get into the building and that. So it's something that I think, I don't know that I don't know that a lot of people at other centers maybe aren't as comfortable using it. I am. But I love that we have it because I'm able to, like I said, put out the messages, get out information. It's not just jokes. Like even potentially we're going to do a cybersecurity thing on Monday. Mary Beth was saying there's grant money. They could do a session for the seniors. So I said I can't. Obviously my newsletter's gone, everything's gone. But I said if you tell me what's going on, I can get out a call, and it will bring people in. You know, they.
Okay, that's a very cool thing.
Yeah.
So whoever signed up for it, you just leave one message and it disperses to anybody that's on the call list?
Yeah, I can. Anybody. It's kind of like the robocalls that go up for the town, but it's specifically to my senior group.
Just do the whole
And-
town.
What?
Just do the whole town.
Well, people like jokes, so if you start telling jokes, they might listen more. Just a suggestion. If you make it funny, somehow it becomes more fun. But no, it's a great way, like I said, to get information, and they love it. And again, when I can't always get everything in a timely fashion out to everyone. That allows me to get things out to people still. So,
Thank you.
anyhow,
And thank you very much.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
thank you.
Connection with the couple ladies.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing that.
Merry Christmas. Have a good
Merry
day.
Christmas. I'm going to the
Thank you.
Keys next Tuesday.
Oh, there you go.
My
All right.
first Christmas ever away. So,
Where you going?
Down to Marathon in the Florida Keys.
Oh, you got kids are all going down there?
Yeah, me, my husband, both my kids. There's significant others. So yes,
Have
I'm
fun.
excited.
Have fun.
What? I will have a blast. Is my plan. I just keep telling all of them. They're all like, "Oh, I'm going to send you pictures of my feet in the sand." Anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Enjoy.
Bye.
She's a hoot.
She's wonderful.
First time with,
Yeah, she was a good replacement for who we had before Barbara.
Yes.
You know, when he got hurt,
I didn't know her very well, so-
so I got his spot.
Kind
And I
of.
was like,
All I remember is she was so frustrated by the time she left the job.
I was a bull.
Mary's
Didn't do
making
too
the
well.
best with what she's got.
No, he was not. He was off hurt because he.
Do we have other subcommittee reports? We did the capital committee, but did we do any other ones?
Whitman Middle School?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Okay, we did have a meeting today, which actually I chaired.
You were supposed to have a tour, right?
What's that?
You were supposed to have a tour.
We did.
Oh, good.
I went on the tour. The tour started on the third floor. Mary Beth and I both looked at each other and said, "Where's the elevator?" But we made it. Made it. Yeah, and it's very exciting. It really is extremely exciting. I said someday in the future, people will thank us, not knowing who we are, for providing this resource to the town. Just having had grandchildren and currently have them in the middle school, knowing what the current building is, it's just, I'm surprised it's not condemned. But at any rate, in 2 years, this will all be a thing of the past. So we did have a tour. They are ahead of schedule and below budget. I always like to hear that. And then we had our business meeting, and there were no controversies. There were no surprise bills that we did get. What are they called? PCOs, potential change orders, and then they become change orders. We did have to deal with that a couple of months ago, but it was what it was. We have contingencies. We're still under budget and still under the second lowest bidder. So it's not as if this changed that. So Mary Beth talked about the intermunicipal agreement. The committee, we didn't vote. We didn't have a motion and a second, but we all approved of this approach because we right now have $1.7 million in the bank to pay bills. And most months we spend $3 to $4 million. But Fontaine's bill wasn't ready. That may have been fortuitous. So we only spent $500,000 today. We only approved $500,000 in bills today. And there is an MSBA payment in the wings that should be in the bank by the end of December for $3 to $5 million. So that will boost it back up to some manageable amount of
until
money
we can get a bond in place.
until we can get the bond in place. But we are inking by. Mary Beth has done an amazing job to sort of proactively say we're in trouble. The school is not going to have its fiscal 24 annual audit approved in place. They just barely have fiscal 23, and so I am so grateful to her that she had the foresight to start this process, and it's on the January 12th ballot. But as I said, things are going ahead of schedule and under budget. And the contractors here, loud and clear, we like to be under budget. So any of the add-ons, they're no longer being discussed.
Good.
I don't know that the regional agreement committee even exists, to be honest with you.
It's a regional disagreement.
Right, absolutely, it's very frustrating.
I think we are.
Yeah. And so that's it. But the capital committee is working better this year than the previous 2 years that I've served on it, so I'm happy about that. Steve Boyce volunteered to chair it.
Good.
And yep. And he wasn't able to make the last meeting because of a school committee meeting conflict. So Justin chaired it last week. But we've got everything in from everybody that we've asked for, and this is way ahead of schedule.
That's good. Steve's good.
We just don't have the money to do everything
Right.
everyone wants. But
Do you guys have any spreadsheet yet describing some of the capital requests?
I think the answer is almost. We have a OneDrive where all of the departments' requests have been placed. No one has created the actual spreadsheet, but we talked about prioritizing it. So someone.
So are they going to prioritize it for us and make their recommendations for
The capital
Capital,
committee.
yeah.
I believe we will. Yeah.
Okay.
There used to be criterion for how do you get, your pecking order, because there have been years in the past that we didn't have the money
Right.
to do everything. Last year we had the money to do everything.
But this year,
But yes,
yeah.
yeah. But it's a good committee. There's actually one vacancy. Frank Lynham stepped down. And so that's available for any town meeting person, person who's interested in civic duty.
Does it pay more than we get now?
It pays twice as what.
Yeah. That's got a bonus. I rely on you heavily, as I think we all do. You have a lot of knowledge in this. But one thing that I've noticed is we still have the same $35,000 in the reserve fund.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't touched it this year.
Right.
But we have items that are on the warrant. I'm not sure, should they even be there? Or should they potentially, so those departments put in a request to...
Should they have
use
asked
that?
for a reserve fund transfer?
Yeah.
Well, we spent almost all of last year's $35,000, and we used to be funded at $50,000.
Yeah.
That was cut when we started returning pretty much all $50,000. I don't know who makes the decision, whether it's Mary Beth advises the department had put in for a reserve fund transfer. Let's put it on the warrant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just looking at it here. It's tomatoes. It's coming out of really the same kind of area, but
Right.
this money is sitting there. We haven't had anybody have a huge need. I mean, Todd could have come in for the $7,000 for that work that was done over at the library.
Yeah.
That would have made sense. It was completely unanticipated. It was absolutely necessary. It was not within his budget. But I know that is one of the town warrant items, I believe.
Yeah,
Right?
that's described what a reserve fund transfer should be.
Yeah.
That scenario.
It's holy moly money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's there. I don't. Maybe they, like you said, maybe Mary Beth advises people, or maybe they're just not aware of it. I don't want it to be a free for all.
No, well,
Because that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing, right?
I would say anything.
But
Well, for emergency
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, no, I'll ask Mary Beth.
Yeah.
Talk to her tomorrow.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other business? If not, I will entertain a motion for us to motion. All right, motion.
And second.
And a second by Ann. Our next meeting is January 6th, right here. Same bat time, same bat place. Hopefully by that point, our OneDrive will be up to date. So I'm going to move all of the material up there. So those of you who have access, double check to make sure that it works. Give me a day or two. But
Did Josh create one for us?
we have one. I've been testing it with him, so I know that it now works. At least from my perspective, I'd like to get those who have it. Just want to make sure that we can all access it.
Yeah.
But we'll have a folder for minutes. We'll have a folder for agendas. We'll have a folder for budgets that have been added. We'll have that spreadsheet, everything. So, sorry, we have it on the floor. I'm just letting you know, kind of an announcement. See you all. Have a great holiday.
Right.
And with that, all those in favor of saying good night and good luck.
That's unanimous.
It's done.